welcome back to my channel. So get into it. This is like a 2016 style makeup look. I hope y'all enjoy watching this tutorial as much as I enjoyed making it, because I had a ball. But anyway, I did a purple cut crease with a white inner corner on my eyeshadow. I did some black liner. I put on some big lashes. These are actually the same lashes from the last tutorial, the Alamona lashes from Lily Lashes. And I put on the Huda Beauty Bombshell lipstick with the same liner combo as last time. Okay, so get into the look. Very girly, very dramatic, very lashy. So like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Alright, so starting off this video, I already had my eyebrows done. And I had on some eyeshadow base because I actually went somewhere this day. But if you want to see an in-depth tutorial on how to do the eyebrows, I do have an eyebrow tutorial on my channel, so go ahead and check that out. First, I'm starting off with moisturizing my face with some avocado oil. My face is freshly washed. It's aside from my eye area. I did wash my entire face. Okay, just rubbing in the avocado oil, especially underneath the eyes because I get really dry down there. Okay, next I'm picking up my foundation. I use the Born This Way foundation in the shade Chai. And then I noticed that I was looking a little furry, so I went in with my razor and I just shaved off some excess hair. Okay, so I just applied some EOS lip balm. It's in the birthday cake flavor. Now I'm taking my foundation and putting it on with a kabuki style brush. Okay, so next I went in with my concealer. This is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade Honey. So I like to put it directly underneath my lash line, and then I drag the line out to where my eyebrow tail ends at. So I go all the way from the inner corner to where my eyebrow tail ends at, and I like to basically try to lift up underneath my eyes. And once again, this is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Honey. Next, I'm using the Shape Tape by Tarte. It's in the shade Tan Deep Sand. So you notice this concealer is a little bit darker than the shade Honey that I just put, because I kind of want to have a transitional color for the highlight. So I don't want the whole thing to be super bright. I want it to kind of transition into the foundation color. Okay, now I'm going in on the chin with that same shade. Now that I think about it, this is actually Tan Sand. This isn't Tan Deep Sand, it's Tan Sand. But it is the Tarte Shape Tape. Okay, so I had to let it dry down a bit, so I'm back on the video now. And now we're going to blend it out with the fluffy brush. But before we blend it out, I just add a little bit more concealer to my forehead. This one is the Urban Decay Naked Concealer. And I'm adding some more on my cheeks. Okay, so now I'm pressing in the concealer underneath my eyes and along my temple area, just to brighten my face. Blending out my foundation a little bit more. Going over that line of demarcation with the same brush I blended out the concealer with. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So you'll notice that as I'm blending out this concealer, I'm using a stippling motion. This is the type of motion you want to use because you don't want it to be streaky. You want to just press it exactly where you want the product to go. And I'm somebody, I personally like to highlight my forehead a lot. I want to draw more attention to my forehead. I feel like it helps to balance out my face, since I feel like the lower half of my face is longer than the top half. And I just think it just gives a more balanced look. Okay, next I went in with this light shade from this Anastasia Beverly Hill Cream Contour Palette. And I put that right in the inner corner. And then I also took that down the bridge of the nose. Next, I start to set underneath the eye with the translucent powder. I'm using the translucent powder from One Size. And we're baking today. It's getting real. We're baking, so don't be shy with the powder. Okay, next I'm going in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. Well, actually, before I use the Shade and Light palette, I would use the Morphe palette to contour and slash bronze up my face. I'm using the two medium brown shades in the palette all over my face. So first I like to go around the forehead to give like a sun-kissed type of look. And then I take it onto the cheeks. So I took that same medium brown mixture from this Morphe palette and used it to contour down the sides of my nose. I was going for like a really bronzy look this day. So I also went in with my Hoola Toasted Bronzer by Benefit. And I went over like in between the highlight and the bronzer slash contour I already put down. It's really more of like a bronzer than a contour because I didn't really use any cool browns. I use all warm browns. So yeah. Okay, so like this was like my secret weapon for making under my eyes super bright. I took out the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I used that bright yellowy shade underneath my eye just to really make it pop. And you'll notice I put it on the same way that you would put on a translucent powder, and I really just pressed it in. So you want to put it in like a triangular shape and bring it up. This is really going to help you get that snatch and bright under eye. And now I'm going down the bridge of the nose to really brighten things up. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Okay, so we're going to keep going. We're taking that same brush from earlier that we used to swipe off our powder from our concealer. We're going to stipple in the Kat Von D pressed powder. And I'm just looking at it up close to make sure it's looking flawless. Now I'm going to take this fluffy brush and get the excess off. Blending out that forehead. Okay, so now it's time for eyeshadow. We're going in with this beautiful white shade from the Nude Persuasion palette from Beau Live Beauty. We're putting that into the inner corner. And we're really packing that on there because we want it to be bright. So today I was really going for like a matte 2016-esque eyeshadow look. So I hope you guys like the eyeshadow. I used like a nude lid, a white inner corner, and then we did a purple cut crease. Okay, so I used two purples from this Wild Side palette from Beau Live Beauty. So first I start out with a lighter purple shade to build up the crease, yes, but also like really diffuse out the shade so we could have a nice transition. And you really do want to connect it with your crease in your eye, especially when you're looking at the front of your eyebrow. You want to put it up right below the eyebrow. Okay, next we're going to go in and deepen the look with a darker purple. Just doing a windshield wiper motion in our crease, on our outer crease. The wrist is very strategic in this look. You can see it's just so pretty. It's smoky. It's girly. I mean, we just want to intensify the purple. Like, the purple was really giving it to the girls. So I feel like the eyes really make this whole look. Don't be afraid to smudge out the under eye. We're using that darker purple shade underneath the lashes to smoke out our lash line. It just really ties the look together. Remember, eyeshadow doesn't look weird underneath your eye. You're just not used to it. Okay, now I'm about to go on with mascara. This is a waterproof mascara. It's very black. I'm going all over the lower lash line. Now I'm going up to the top lashes. Okay, next I'm going in with blush. I'm using the Juvia's Place blush. I believe I used volume 4 and 5, but I might be wrong. Let me see. So I used the lightest shade from volume 5, the light pink. And I put it all over the cheeks. Yeah, so I did use volume 4 and volume 5 from Juvia's Place. And I used the 2 lighter shades in both palettes. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with my Fenty Beauty highlighter. I feel like the girls don't really wear highlighter anymore, but I just love a good highlight, so I had to run it back. I actually use 2 highlighters in this look, so I'm going to use this Fenty one. And you'll notice on my nose, I use one from Ofra Cosmetics. It's called Brentwood. Okay, when you're highlighting your nose, you just want to put a little dot on the tip. Then at the very top on the bridge in between your eyes, you want to put a little line and kind of drag it down to like the midway point. And for me, I love my deep philtrum, so I do like to highlight the lines on my philtrum above my lip. It just really brings out the cupid's bow more, I think. Okay, next we're going to go in and do our lips. So I'm actually going to use the same lip combo I used in the last tutorial with my dark brown lip pencil and the Bombshell lip from Huda Beauty. I was just playing around with the lighting just to see if everything was coming together the way I wanted it to, and it was. So I turned my light back on. Okay, now I'm just lining my lips with the dark brown. I do like to overline my top lip just to really give me a really juicy lip look on my lips. You don't have to overline them, but that's just my personal preference. A tip though with overlining your lips is do not overline the corners. Like the corners of your mouth, do not overline that. Make sure that stays true to the size. Or else it'll make your lip liner look really messy. All right, now I'm filling in with the Bombshell liquid lipstick from Huda Beauty. It's a nice matte lip. And then I just press my lips together to blend the two colors together.
We gone.
So I was debating on if I was going to put on lashes or not, but I do end up putting on lashes. So I put on those same lashes that were in the last tutorial, the Alamona lashes from Lily Lashes.